I grew up in a small town in Iowa, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. Summers were hot, the nights were quiet, and cornfields stretched for miles in every direction. It was the kind of town where nothing ever really happened until it did. It was late October, a week before Halloween, when everything changed. I was 17, driving home from my part-time job at the gas station. The roads were empty, the moon was high, and the only sound was my tires crunching on the gravel. As I passed the old Miller farm, something caught my eye. Movement in the cornfield. At first, I thought it was just the wind, but then I saw it again. Something shifting between the rows, too tall to be an animal, too fast to be a person just walking. A shadow flickering in and out of sight. I slowed down, squinting into the darkness. That's when I heard it. A voice. It was faint, almost swallowed by the wind, but I swear it was calling my name. I froze. No one should have been out there. It was after midnight, and the Millers had moved away years ago. The farmhouse was abandoned, the fields left to rot. I swallowed hard, telling myself it was my imagination, and pressed the gas pedal. But just as my headlight swept across the rows of corn, I saw something that made my blood run cold. A face, pale, hollow eyes, mouth open, moving, though no sound came out. It was there for less than a second, then gone, swallowed by the stalks. I floored it. By the time I got home, my hands were shaking so bad, I could barely get the key in the door. I locked every window, every door, telling myself I was just seeing things. Maybe I was too tired. Maybe it was a trick of the light. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. The next day at school, I told my friend Jake about it. He laughed it off. Probably just some drifter, he said. Or, a ghost. He wiggled his fingers at me, grinning. But later that night, Jake texted me. Dude, I saw it too. I called him immediately. His voice was shaky. I was driving past the same spot, he said. I heard something. Whispering. Then I saw this face. It was just standing there watching me. We decided to go back. I don't know why. Maybe to prove to ourselves it wasn't real. Maybe because we were stupid 17-year-olds who thought we were invincible. Armed with flashlights, we parked on the side of the road and stepped into the field. The corn was dry, brittle, rustling around us as we walked. The air was thick, heavy, like a storm was coming. And then we heard it, a whisper. Both of us froze. It was close, too close. It wasn't coming from one direction, but all around us, moving through the stalks. My heart pounded in my chest as I turned in circles, my flashlight beam shaking. Then, I saw them. Not one, but dozens of them. Faces peering from between the corn stalks, pale and sunken, mouths moving in silent whispers. Some were missing eyes, others had gaping holes where their mouths should be. And they were getting closer. Jake grabbed my arm. Run. We tore through the field, crashing through the stalks. The whispers grew louder, turning into something almost like a chant. I could feel something reaching for me, fingers grazing my shirt. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. We burst onto the road, gasping for breath. The whispers stopped. When I turned around, the cornfield was still, empty. We never spoke about it again. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear the whispers outside my window, and I know, whatever we saw that night, it's still out there waiting.